Y'all kind of mentioned this around it. I say kind of get from both sides, but I ask the question: do black officers really bleed blue?
Mm. Mm. What you got, Jamie?
You said, do black officers really bleed blue?
Yeah.
Right.
Clarify that.
I think most officers bleed blue, if black or white, because you do have a culture in law enforcement that you're going to, cover each other to a point. But coming back in, Brother Dre, you can attest to this. Back in the early mid '90s, back then, you kind of did more cover. You were able to cover if you decided to. Now one of the interest questions on your application or when they interview you is, if you see another officer commit a crime, will you say something? Mm-hmm. And back in the day, if you said, yeah, I'll tell them, you wouldn't get the job. Now right. That's almost a prerequisite, right? So bleeding blue is kind of broad, right? So I think, Jamie, I guess it's basically they talk about the culture. Do you bleed blue over bleeding red or black or blue? You know what I'm saying? So will you cover up in that culture more so than you would do, for black man, white man, or whoever?
Well, yeah, I mean, you put it like that, whatever. Of course, I would say, I know I bleed blue. Like, I believe in doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Whether no matter if cameras around or not, I'm going to do the right thing simply because it's the right thing to do. I've had cases where I was a corporal within a patrol. I've caught guys doing things that they were not supposed to do, and of course, I still sign up for a job, to make sure the right things are being done, and to make sure the public being treated fair. So no matter what, I don't know if you want to call it a whistleblower, snitch, whatever the case is, however, but when I see things are being done wrong, I'm going to address it and I'm going to pass it up simply because it's the right thing to do. If I allow someone to do wrong and me knowing it's wrong, I'm just as wrong as them, right? So that's the way I look at it, whatever, that's the way I operate. So before I joined law enforcement, I made a promise to myself that I wouldn't let the badge change me. A lot of guys get the badge and it is either change or that badge actually show who they truly are. Mm-hmm. That's not me, So I believe in treating people, the way I always treated people fair at all times, man. That's just the way I operate. Yep. You make it real far in this career based on how you treat people and talk to people. You gain a whole lot of respect.
Right. That's right. What you got, Dre?
Can't hear you, Dre.
Yeah, can't hear you.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, I was writing some stuff down, man. It's deep because it's almost a question that says, do black officers really bleed black? Because man, what comes down to it, the white brothers bleed blue all day. And they gonna make sure they bleed blue. And I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Here in Cincinnati, our chief of police got pretty much suspended with pay. She's white, and she is right now controversial. Said a lot of ignorant things, and the city manager, who's black, finally got rid of her. The FOP, Fraternal Order of Police, who's basically majority of a white organization, they sat back and said, we stand by Chief Thigi. And they were bold about it. And usually a union doesn't get involved with a chief type business, but she got a lot of legacy. I mean, over 100+ years of police legacy within the department. So they immediately backed her up. So the reason I'm bringing up black officers as well is there's a bunch of sellouts in Cincinnati. And I've been very vocal about it. You got black officers, and see, one thing about this Xcalibur, they have an organization called the Sentinel Organization that was established in the 60s that dealt with unfairness, unfair hiring, community development. Like they were really in one of the first groups to ever be established as a black police officer group. And they sold. They actually were a group who helped Chief Thigi get rid of our all-black captain, Captain Danita Pettis. and she just got her job back and was reinstated, all back pay and benefits. But she got attacked by black people who assisted. Because I've always said that you're never gonna get to somebody on that type of ranking unless you got black people to help you. And that's exactly what happened. So Chief Thiegy went after Captain Pettis to get her off, because the next rank is assistant chief, and then you in a position to do a lot. And she got her out of the way. So that's why I say do black officers really bleed black? Because every brother ain't a brother, and every brother ain't black. So, right. so at the end of the day, man, we don't stick together enough. Because imagine, X, if you had 50 Xcaliburs, you know, you got some Rasheeds, you got some Burgess, you got me working with you as a group. You got a whole organization that has the right to speak out. Now that group is in your community helping out and doing the things at the schools. And you got a green light to go in. And that's the frustration about Cincinnati. They had a group that was established to do that. Now they sold because they want to be in on other platforms within the police organization. So, man, there's so much division going on right now. It's ridiculous. So I couldn't even trust a black officer as close as I see them, because they the ones been stabbing everybody in the back.
Damn. Hey, everybody, just let y'all know, Andre is retired, okay? He is retired from the Cincinnati PD, okay? And let me ask you this question, Victor. As a civilian, what do you think? As a civilian, what do you see?
Go ahead.
I see police officers as police officers. The way I see it is your individual character and morals should override everything. So I'm good being all black. I'm gonna be brother with you unless I see you harming my community. Then you're not my brother. I don't care if you got the same skin color. You ain't my brother. I feel something about police officer. The moment that police officer starts breaking the law, they're not a police officer anymore. They're a criminal who just wearing a uniform.
Right.
So I think it's normal for people in the same culture to want to back each other because they're in the same community. So I get the bleed blue to a point. There's some point where you go, you know what? You're making my job harder. Every police officer that's going out there abusing their power, breaking the law, is making the good officers making their jobs harder, making it hard for the community to trust them and everything. So I bleed to a point. I'm not an officer, but I bleed to a point.
I bleed. As an African American officer, I do bleed blue to, like you say, a point. If I see you out there doing something wrong, then you're going to have the problem, and I can't back you up on it. But to all the good officers like myself, Burgess, Rasheed, Dre, I bleed blue, white or black. I'm bleeding blue with you, man. I'm going with you. We're going to go to war together. You know what I'm saying? We work together. I got your back. If you got something going on, I'm on the way to help you out. But if you out there doing some bull job, you're going to have a problem. And I can't rock with it. I can't rock with it.
That's right.
Dre, what you was about to say before you cut off, man?
No. I agree with you, my brother. What you just said is because the irony about being a police officer, if you hear an officer needs assistance, meaning they in trouble, you going regardless. You don't even know who it is. It could be somebody who just was in internal affairs trying to get you fired. But once you hear officer needs assistance and that buzz go off, you gone. So in that regard, yes, you bleeding blue because you won't want to never see your fellow brother, sister, man, get gunned down, get killed, get hurt, or what have you. But that's where if everybody decided to be consistent in this game, man,
that's the
more
thing.
lives would be saved all the way around, and we shouldn't even be having these discussions if people wanted to just work together to build up their community. And that's the frustrating part. We don't work together, man. That's frustrating.
The one thing I will say about with Burgess department, I see on social media, and Burgess, you can tell me if I'm wrong or not, but it seems like you guys are big in community, man. I mean, his area, Orangeburg, I think is primarily African American, correct?
Yeah. We definitely are big in the community, and that's what I love, man. I love being, a community servant. Like, even with the county as well as patrol, I did the same thing. I used to ride around with coloring book and coloring books in my patrol car. As long as it was found with the parents, I enjoyed giving it to kids because a lot of these kids, growing without a father, a lot of these kids don't have a dream, and I like to, be that example, be, some type of public, figure for them to make them believe that they can do anything. Some kids don't believe that they can be a police officer. Some kids never seen a black cop. So I definitely enjoy being out for the people, man, and just, showing them that we all aren't the same. We're not a robot, dude. We're approachable. So I like that.
Yeah. That's what's up.
That's funny you say that, man. I keep some teddy bears in the back of my car too for some kids, man. If I come roll up on a bad wreck and they're scared, I give them a toy just to keep them calm. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Do you guys have any involvement with
Hey,
Burgess, any involvement with the universities there?
Hold on.
Yeah, my bad. I wanted to ask: does anybody's department highlight with their public information office doing a lot of positive commercials with police? You got the social media, because you hear everything negative. Anything a negative police officer do, it's going to be highlighted immediately. But are you allowed in your departments to utilize the social media platform to promote positivity? Because nationwide right now, we all know that police officers are on a shortage. We can't get people to join up. So how is your department handling that? And are they doing anything media wise to promote and get people to come out?
Well, I know our department runs kind of short on it. I know the Rockdale County Sheriff's Office, where I came from before, they're starting to really amp up their stuff, and they're really good at profiling the positivity. But what I hate to see, is these boots on the what's that song? Boots on the ground, wherever it is.
Boots on the ground, it'll be fresh.
I hate it. I hate this.
Hold on, time out. Hey, Rasheed, you remember when we was all at the mall in Indianapolis?
Yeah.
That's who they thought Trey was. That's who they thought Trey was. 803 Fresh, the guy that's saying boots on the ground. Man.
They probably did. Man, listen, it's always our black agencies, man. That just are we good at doing the shucking, jiving, and dancing, and I hate it. It's like, man, the police department has so much more to offer that would attract people than goddamn boots on the ground. Man, when I tell you I hate it, it's like that one sheriff. What's that? Boston, Baltimore County, Philadelphia, I think. Philadelphia, I believe the sheriff got on there talking about ICE wasn't the real police, and she gonna have her deputies locking them up, and this, that, and the third. And then they recruitment videos, all they doing is dancing. Man, listen, I can't stand the buffoonery and the niggerdom. I can't stand it.
Yeah. What about you, Burgess? How about you? I see you guys on social media, man. It seems like that's all y'all promote is that. What about you, your agency?
Yeah, our agency do a lot for the public, and we also promote what we do as well. Like just yesterday, we had a school bring a lot of kids to the agency, and we did the thing for the kids as well. But I've always did it. I used to go out there and do, like, when I got free time, I used to go out there and just see random kids playing ball. I go play ball with them, But I like to do things like that just to get involved. Cause they're just me. It's me being me. It's not me just putting on something that make you think I'm a good guy, but I am a good guy, but it's me being me, because I just like to just show people that we aren't bad. It's sad to me when I used to pull over cars and I see young kids holding the steering wheel shaking. I understand why they're doing it. I truly understand, but deep down it hurt, because I know what they're feeling right now. So for me, I feel like communication is very good on how to talk to people. I use that time to even say a little joke, to break the ice, tell them, hey, you can calm down. I understand why you're doing it, but it's sad that some people don't feel so comfortable around cops that they literally shaking. And I try to just be the different one person at a time.
Yeah. I think as a civilian, I think people, it's not a general fear of like the police, but getting caught in an interaction with that cop that's racist, that's maybe got a bad attitude or just short-tempered, and you don't know until you're in a situation with that cop, until you're in that situation with that cop, and then God already knows what will happen. So yeah, Jim, it helps when you do something to just break the ice, just let them know I'm not that guy. I'm a cop, I'm the cop, but I'm not that cop. So.
And what answer your questions, Brother Dre, we got Burgess, we got the community relations officers.
Yeah.
They go to the school, they do like career fairs and everything, and they tell you what's going on the road, how to be safe. But what I do, I actually go to these schools and read the kids in my uniform, and I let them know. And somebody there take pictures, whatever, and post them on social media, or whatever. But I feel like that's how I'm affected. I actually want these kids to come talk to me. I go talk to them after we read the book. We have story time. After I read the book, have story time, and I ask them questions. Hey, what you learn from the story? Y'all got any questions y'all want to ask me? I do that. I go to the elementary schools, middle schools, and do that. I don't read to the middle school students, obviously, but I go in there and talk to them. Actually, last year I went to a college. And spoke to some future, law enforcement officers. They in there for criminal justice. I'm going to Midlands Tech in a couple months because of the Black Shield. Go talk to some criminal justice officers. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel like I make a difference. Let people see us in a different light.
Right. I mean, my thing is I see the pockets of great things that we do. I mean, it's awesome. I want to see a collaborative effort to where you seeing hundreds of officers constantly doing so much positive things that you can't even ignore it. I would have loved to have seen your department, my department, and Rasheed's department say, oh, matter of fact, we're going to go ahead and fund the whole Black Shield, and we're going to promote the crap out of it and make sure that we follow 3 positive Black brothers that's doing something with their families and show something that they don't see on a regular basis of how we live. Right. That's the kind of support, man, I would love to see of somebody just really showing, hey, you know what? Burgess is a real life guy, and I seen him on a Netflix special, and this is exactly what he does in the community, at home with his family, how he takes care of his kids. He goes out of different places. Now we highlight it in different ways, man, that really make people say, you know what, I want to be a police officer now. But we're not shown enough in a positive light as a whole unit versus pockets.
Right.
So let me ask you all this. Those y'all that patrol areas, do you find a difference in the type of interactions? I don't know how often you patrol areas where you actually grew up, and like people know, like they, instead of it being Officer Ernest, it's, oh, that's Ernest, he's a police officer. So do you all see, or is there a difference like patrolling where you grow up versus patrolling some other community where they just know you as officer, whatever?
Well, I work out of state from where I grew up at. When I did work in Indiana, I was pretty well received. I didn't have any issues. I didn't have it. I was pretty well received, and it was like, yeah, that's Rasheed. He's the police. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't, oh, that's that cop. That's Sheed. He's the police. Yes, I had a pretty good relationship with my neighborhood when I was working in Indiana.
Right. What about you, Dre?
Oh yeah, I had a real good relationship. When I went back to the community, they were happy to see me. They were like, man, that's Brother Dre. What's happening? Hey, Dre, what's good? So to see a familiar face that always kept it real. And that's the one thing. I never pushed or try to violate anybody's rights, go to the extra extreme. And, as an advocate for prison ministry, even when I saw individuals that I grew up with, and that was the tripped out part, is here it is, I'm going to prisons. They know I'm a police officer, and you got guys that was from the hood that committed murder, major drug sales and deals, and they were like, man, this guy's for real coming in here. And so that's part of the reasons they kicked me out of the prison ministry, because they said, man, this dude know too many people. And because when I saw him, man, I was just like, man, what's up? They like, Dre, we in there hugging, man, like everything is all right. And next day, you know, the warden and them was like, man, get the
That's what they need, though. That's crazy. They would put you out. That's what you would think they would want.
correct.
Yeah, you would think they would want somebody in there that, you know everybody and kind of like, you know, relate to them a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You would think they would want that person in there, but hey, that to each his own.
Yeah.
To each his own. But me, when I worked in Orangeburg, I didn't know nobody, man. Only person I knew in that area was my aunt. She lived in that county. But when I transferred to the 2 counties I'm working in now, obviously, you know, I grew up as a little boy. I'm like, I run to everybody, people I know since childhood, man. Some of my teachers, man, you know, they respect me, they love me, they tell me they proud of me. But you know, they F around, they know what happened.
You gonna get him anyway. Yeah, I know you.
It's just business, baby. Ain't nothing personal. It's just business, man. Ain't nothing personal.
Yeah.
What about you, Jamie?
I never patrolled the area I work. I mean, the area I live. However, when I go back home, it's all love, having issues at all. But they know what I do for a living. Now, if you get yourself in a situation to where something got to happen, then it is what it is. Because that means you don't respect what I do, you know. So don't put me in a bad spot where I got to make this, you know.
Right. And that's what I meant when I said, you know, what I said. That's exactly right. Hey, Victor, let's go on to the last topic, man.
Okay, one more topic. Kind of talk about. So, why is it so? Is it first of all? Is it hard to hire new police, and why is it so hard? If it is, why is it so hard to